so it all depends on how we want to live. And the cool thing is that we have the ability now, because of the great food that's coming on the scene and great teachers that are teaching us how to eat from the earth, not the factory, and our bodies are responding. And that's what happened for me. I was almost 50, and I had the opportunity to go away to this really cool camp. And what I learned there was raw food. And this was in 1990. Okay, that's like almost 25 years ago. And what happened for me is my body completely transformed. Not to mention my outlook on life and my energy and the way that I slept at night and how turned on I was to life and food. I could eat as much food as I wanted. And what was wonderful is that you can't overeat raw food, number one, so you get to eat as much as you want. And the good news about that is that it's delicious. The food is it fulfills every single sense. It's so sensual. I mean, the colors and the aromas and the flavors are like you've never tried. And so I was so turned on to what I learned that I became a devotee of it. And I lived like this for a couple of years and had the wonderful opportunity to go to work for an environmentalist and learn a lot more about food and the environment. And during this time, I lectured all over the country. And I learned how to eat vibrant, nourishing food that completely supported my body, transformed it, never had to diet again. And I was able to learn how to eat this food while I was traveling, make it affordable and easy. So of course, over the years, since this was a bit of time ago, and I learned really a lot about nutrition and cooked foods. And some of our foods are really better for us cooked. And a raw food is a little bit difficult to sustain at full time or all the time. And so I also learned to make cultured foods, which is probiotic foods. And these are foods that all of our centenarians all have in their diets. They all have an abundant amount of raw foods, and whether they're eating animal foods or not, their animals are clean, and they've been raised in a way that you would want to be raised if you were an animal. And anyway, but they have a lot more nutritional value to them. And then they all have, the centenarians, all have a rich probiotic food in their diet. And what I mean by probiotic, and these are foods that are alive with friendly flora and good bacteria to propagate our intestinal wall and to create an excellent digestive system. So what happened for me, I realized after years of lecturing that many people don't know how to eat well, and they're really, really confused. And so I wanted to create something that helped me learn. So I created cooking shows because it was so easy for me to learn by doing or watching someone. And so I created a whole course on raw food, cooked food, and cultured foods. So this is naturally fermented foods, the right balance of what foods are best to be cooked, and then what foods really should always be raw. And with this raw, cooked, and cultured diet, for me and for the many of my students and the people that have taken my courses, they are raving about how it's transformed their life and how it's transformed their body, how they feel better, they have flexible joints, they have excellent digestion, their skin glows. And so if we can all learn how to eat this way, then we too can become centenarians that are running through the hills and feeling well, because this is our life. And you know what, I think we all need to treat our bodies like they or I or it is our most prized possession. Because the truth is, it is. No matter what else you do, no matter how much money you make, or how big a family you have, or a big house, or a new car, or whatever your dreams to be realized in your life, they're not going to be any fun at all if you don't have abundant health. And we do have that opportunity. And I'm enjoying it, and I hope that you do too.
A sweet, a sour, a pungent, a savory, all different flavors. And so when you bring them into your palate, you get them all at once, and it's almost impossible to describe which one is taking over. Just about the time this is done, I'm going to throw it on top of that goat cheese, and that's going to kind of melt it, and then I'm going to throw it on top of a salad and just lace it with the golden elixir dressing. Like I said, it's pretty rich, but oh my God, it is so scrumptious.
I hope you enjoyed my videos. Now I want to just take a quick moment here to give you an example of raw and cooked together, and actually this dish started my cooking career. And basically all we have here is Swiss chard, but it's already cooked. And a lot of people go, I hate chard. Let me fix it for you, I say. And afterwards they're just gobbling it up and asking for a second helping, and I'm not kidding. So anyway, the best thing you can do for a Swiss chard is not to eat it raw. It needs to be cooked. And it's best when it's cooked for like 4 minutes. Boil it, pour the water off, and what you have left is Swiss chard. Now, that's cooked, right? Now this is sesame seeds, and they look like a white powder, and basically what they are is the white sesame seeds. And if you've gone into a store or to a sushi restaurant, you see the little brown sesame seeds, but that's not what these are. These are hulled, which means the hull has been taken off of them already. So that's a raw food. Now what I do is I put them in a coffee grinder or a blender or a bullet or anything that you might have, a Vitamix, and you blend them up and you make this luscious powder. And you take the powder and you just sprinkle it lavishly over your vegetables. In this case we have the Swiss chard. You can see this is just sprinkled lavishly. And then you take a wonderful oil like a flax oil. And the reason I recommend flax oil is that flax oil is this incredible food. Flax seeds are full of omegas, and they're very sensitive to light and heat, so it's important that they're refrigerated, and that's why you often see flax oil in the refrigerated section of your health food store. But a lot of people are just taking this in a tablespoon or pouring it into their smoothie, and you know what? You can make a great sauce out of it that's going to enhance your vegetables, fill you up, and have them kind of stick to your ribs, if you know what I mean. So you just take this beautiful flax oil and you pour it over the chard with the sesame seeds. And then what I like to use is a little bit of shoyu or a tamari if you like. But if you don't have that handy, a great sea salt will do. And you just sprinkle the salt on. And I'm just going to go ahead and just sprinkle this on like this. And there's a lot more I could say about salt that you will learn in my DVD series. So here you go. We have this wonderful flax oil, which is going to give you all your omegas. It's also going to create a flavor that you'll be very surprised about because it's kind of nutty. And then with the sesame seeds, it brings another element of this nuttiness, and you have an instant gravy. And you know what'll happen? You can take this to a potluck or dinner to somebody's house, or just serve it at your house, and they're going to say, what's in this? That's what happens every time. What's in this? And I'll just go, oh, it's just a little bit of sesame seeds and flax oil. And what happens is that they go, oh my God, it's delicious. You can use the same recipe on top of sweet potatoes. It's really good too. So who would like to have a bite? Who would like to try this? All right.
Wow, that is fantastic. Ooh, that's good. That is good.
Yeah, you like
All
it?
right.
That's doable, definitely.
I never thought I'd like
Another
chili.
bite.
4 and
Thank
5
you.
different flavors at one time.
No, isn't the nuttiness good?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Seeds?
like, I'm tasting.
Oh, I'm so
I'm
glad.
a man.